What's up guys? Today in this video I wanted to tell you about how I became an Airtable consultant, what the steps that I took from learning Airtable and how that translated into me being an Airtable consultant today. So I know in another video I showed you like the ways you can get involved in the Airtable community and a little bit about this, but in this video I wanted to go really in depth on what exactly I did to get started on Airtable and what those steps look like. So if you haven't met me yet, my name is bengreen and I'm the owner of optimizeis. And what we do is we help business owners, probably just like those watching my other videos, maybe this one, help them optimize their information systems and do workflow automation, especially with like Airtable and Zapier, and then do database implementation, mainly with Airtable. Do a lot of project management stuff with like Asana, stuff like that. So without further ado, the video. So right now I'm a senior in college and I just finished my last business class. So I go to a top 10 business college, undergraduate. I'm pursuing an undergraduate business degree. At Indiana University, the Kelley School of Business, I'm getting a degree in operations and information systems. So I actually just finished my last business class a couple days ago. It's like November 23rd of 2020. So I was supposed to graduate next May, but I decided to graduate a semester early because I know I can learn a lot more by doing stuff like this on my own and be just like out in the real world and do adult stuff rather than play around in school. So that's what I'm doing now, and I love making these videos for you guys and just giving you guys my experiences. So this is going to be a tutorial about, this is going to be a video about that. I always say tutorial. But from the end of high school, my story was I played soccer and I was a swimmer, and then I won a couple of awards. I was always like top of the high school class and stuff in high school, and then I was the top male math student in my junior and senior class. And that doesn't mean a lot at all, but it did to me because I was always trying to think like mathematically, and I think that's why I really like working with business systems and like working with like thinking logically about like how should this system be set up, how should this database be set up. So then coming here to Indiana University, I came in with a good amount of credits, which is why I'm able to graduate early. But I decided about my junior year that I was like, you know what, I took 2 classes in Excel, intro, and basically the intro class to Excel and the advanced class to Excel. The intro class also was intro to Microsoft Access, which is literally Airtable, but 10 times worse. That's how I got sort of introduced to stuff like the formulas, and that's why I'm pretty in tune with Airtable formulas because they're nearly the same exact thing as Excel formulas. So that's exactly how I got started, was just learning Excel formulas in those classes, and then still being able to recall how to use those formulas in Airtable today. From learning that stuff in those classes, then I took a few classes on systems architecture and architecture development, specifically the TOGAF framework or something like that. It was S302 at Indiana University, and it was systems architecture. And then this year I took systems design and analysis. And I've taken like 3 or 4 coding classes, which I'm not as big of a fan of, but they're still really interesting. And I definitely learned a lot. I learned that I didn't want to do coding, which is why I don't write a lot of Airtable scripts. I want to make it as simple as possible. I know business owners, they don't like, nearly all of the business owners, especially that I work with, they don't want to learn how to manipulate some code that gets put into their database. They might want you to do it, but they also don't want that extra cost of having to have someone on retainer, most likely, unless it's a big company that can easily push that cost under the rug. So that brings me to how I got started with Airtable. So I had this systems analysis and design and this information systems background from learning this stuff in these classes. And I was also the president of my fraternity. I had like implemented not so much a database, but a file organization system for them. And I worked in production facilities other than that. I didn't even know what Airtable was until like the beginning of 2020, I think. Maybe It was late 2019, I think. So I would consider him my biggest mentor. He's also an employer of mine. Luke Fontaine. Look him up on Instagram, DM him. He's a great guy. He'll respond to your DM, and if you need help with your business systems, he will help you as well. But Luke is a business maven. He's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life, and Luke, if you're watching this, I look very highly up to you because you introduced me to Airtable, you introduced me to systems at a time when I didn't know anything about them, and I actually offered to work for Luke for free. And I look back and laugh at this because there's so many resources online. I wanted to work for him for free, and he would teach me how to use Airtable and teach me how to use these other systems. And I look back and laugh because there's just so many free resources online that you can go look up, and he wouldn't have had to waste his time with those conversations or thinking about should he teach me or not. Just look him up online. There's plenty of tutorials. I'm making lots of tutorials if you want to learn Airtable functions or just how to use systems. We had some calls and he was like, yeah, just like get your hands dirty, like just go dive shoulder deep into these systems and just try to use them in your everyday life on whatever application you can. So all of like last year I was using Airtable to manage all of my schoolwork, all of my homework, my classes, my stuff for being president of the fraternity, and some other things. So I was using Airtable just as a user. And then over the summer, I moved out to California. And at this point, I was not an Airtable consultant, but I had a swath of knowledge on how to use Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, how to use a relational database and put these things together. So if this sounds like you, this is definitely something that you could be really good at if you have that background in Excel, Access, or if you just know how to use Airtable really well. So I was also in a group called Mancave, and Mancave is a 90-day like men's group, and it full of a bunch of amazing people, a bunch of very conscious men is what I think the easiest terminology I can use for it is. It's only for men. I highly encourage you to go seek this out and go join Mancave with Preston Smiles. But I joined that, and through that, it was at the end of quarantine. Then I moved to California, and that was truly amazing. I moved out there and hung out with my best friend for the whole summer, drove a Mustang GT, went to the beach all the time, got a bunch of sushi, got a bunch of acai bowls. It was amazing. Lived like 20 minutes from Laguna Beach. So it was a great summer. But one of the highlights from that summer was when I moved out there, I had a call with someone in the group. He sought me out. I think I had mentioned something on a call that I was like trying to do some Airtable consulting, and he was like, hey, let's get on a call and we can talk about what this might look like. And I wanted to be very upfront because I was like, I've never worked with anybody on Airtable. I've never done any Airtable work, and he is now a client of mine. But he was like, well, do you want to go on a journey, man? Do you want to go on a journey and learn all of these systems and just be like a internet marketing, internet systems guru, basically, is what he offered me. And I would work for him for free, of course, because that's what you do when you don't have any experience, is you work as an intern, you work for free. For the whole summer, I worked for him for free. We built some stuff on Airtable. He also hired another guy to do actual paid work. That other guy is an OpenSider as well, we're in the same OpenSider class actually, which is kind of cool. And what I found out through that was that I actually knew a lot more about Airtable than I gave myself credit for, because I knew a lot more about Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Access than I gave myself credit for as well. And so that really just unlocked the opportunities for me to be able to know I can help other people with this, whether it's providing free content on YouTube or paid consultations and solving business owners' problems. It just really unlocked a lot of doors for me, being able to find that out and learn more about this stuff. And then other than that, it was just an amazing summer in California. So then fast forward to this year, or this semester. So that was only like 4 months ago. About 3 months ago, I started the YouTube channel. I think it was about 3 months ago. Might have been about 2 months ago. I don't know. I posted like nearly 30 videos at this point. But I decided, well, I'm taking 18 credit hours in school to finish up a semester early. And I was like, what can I do to push the business forward? What's like the one thing that I can do? And I know I was just talking with my best friend Max, who I lived with in California, and he was like, Russell Brunson said that if you post every day on, if you stick to one platform, post every day on it for a year, you're guaranteed like a 6-figure salary or something like that. But I was like, I need to be consistent somewhere. Right now, I'm not posting on Instagram, not posting on Facebook, not posting on LinkedIn, not posting on Twitter, not posting on YouTube. I wasn't posting anywhere. And I was like, I think I can make YouTube videos. There's not a lot of competition for it. I know I can rank stuff for SEO. I help Max out with all of his YouTube stuff. So like, I think I can grow a channel on YouTube. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into my story, how I became an Airtable consultant, how I'm moving to other systems as well. So I want to do some tutorials on Asana. I know that's a very saturated YouTube market, but I do think it's very important that I think I can give a very concise and very understanding viewpoint on some of these systems that I haven't really seen everywhere. That's my story from high school, being the nerd math student, to going to college for information systems, and then one of the two biggest turning points, meeting Luke Fontaine through Max actually, but being employed by OCU has been amazing. Having Andrew, the client from Mancave, that's been a huge turning point. But I can say with 100% certainty that without Luke Fontaine, I wouldn't be where I'm at, just because he introduced me to the systems, and now he's given me opportunities now that I've learned and mastered the systems besides scripting. He's given me opportunities to step up and to really take a leadership role in some of his companies. And that's my story. I hope you gained value from it. I hope if you found it interesting, then that's awesome, and I'd love to share more. If you like these kind of videos, throw a comment in the comments section, hit like. Ultimately, I do want to make the valuable content for business owners and setting up their systems. And if they want to do it all by themselves, then they can just watch my videos and they'll be able to set it all up. That is the dream, that is the goal, and I hope you guys stick with it through me. Stick with me through it. So I hope this was useful, and have a great day. Keep watching for more Airtable videos.